What's up, everybody? Welcome on in. It's 1TS Daily live right here at One True Sport. How's it going? My name is Zack Heydorn from Brassring Media and Sports Illustrated. Pumped to be here to discuss wrestling and to chat wrestling and to chat with you. Apologies on the day off on the show yesterday. Transparently, just needed a bit of a mental break after everything that happened on Tuesday night. So that was the reason for that. But thanks for being here today. And boy, do we have a lot to discuss. With a big war yesterday. An old school callback war between NXT and AEW Dynamite on a Wednesday. It felt good. It felt good to do that again and to be a part of that madness again. So we're going to break that all down and talk about that and a variety of other things as well. So this is 1TS Daily. We are live here on the One True Sport YouTube channel every single day around this time, right around 11:30-ish Eastern to talk wrestling. And we just hit the news of the day, whether that's just kind of news nuggets and news stories, or that could be show previews and reviews and analysis. We kind of just take it as it comes with the topics at hand based on what's going on in the world of pro wrestling. So that's what we do, and you don't want to miss it. So subscribe to the One True Sport YouTube channel if you're checking us out right now on YouTube. Hello. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and hit that like button for me if you can, if you wouldn't mind. It helps us out big time. If you're watching on Twitter, hello, Twitter X. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. You can like also in your own special way. So please do that. It helps us out greatly. I've got the live chat going, and we've already got some folks in there this morning. Amy is back, and sorry to hear that you were sick, Amy. Amy says this morning, good to be back. I've been sick. It's good to have you back. Hopefully it wasn't too serious, and hopefully you're feeling a lot better now, and I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here in the live chat. Dan's in there. Dan, just keeping it simple here on a Thursday morning. Just says, "Yo, what's up, Dan? Thanks so much for being here, man. Appreciate you guys. Always encourage the live chatting, because look, the best part of this show, for me anyway, is interacting with you guys, and I like to hear your thoughts, and I like to tackle your questions, no matter what they are. I like to tackle them, and so get on in there and mix it up. It certainly makes for a fun show. So thank you in advance for that, Amy and Dan. I do have super chats open if you are so willing and able, and you want to make sure that you get one of your questions or comments addressed on the show. The best way to do that is to simply send a super chat. Any contribution amount is a big help to the show, and we'll make sure to answer all super chats here, whether it's a comment or a question or a different topic. You're like, hey, I want you to talk about this. Great. We'll try to get to all that. We will get to all super chats before we wrap up here in the next 20, 25 minutes. So get those in. Thank you. All right. So, what did everybody think about last night's battle between NXT and AEW? I thought both shows were pretty solid. I think what NXT had going for it was just the show felt more exciting, I think is the best way to put it. I mean, you just had in the 2300 arena, you just had more energy, if you ask me. And I think that played really well for NXT. You had some of like the old school ECW callbacks, Francine and Dawn Marie and Bully Bubba Ray. So you had that. That helped. And then I just think seeing those NXT stars like Trick Williams and others in that kind of small environment, but energetic environment, I think is special. And it would be special if AEW went there too. It's not special because it's Trick. It's just that building, when it's full and when it's full of wrestling fans, they make anybody look like stars. And I thought AEW very much benefited from that NXT. I thought NXT very much benefited from that yesterday. AEW, I thought the show was good. I thought that it was a good, solid show. I just, again, it just lacked. It's not that it lacked energy. I thought it had a fine energy, just compared to what was going on in NXT. It felt different. It just felt different. It just felt a little flatter. And again, not because it wasn't fine. And I don't know that we'd even notice or even be talking about this, except for the fact that you had another wrestling show going on at this exact same time over on the other channel on the CW network that came across, I think, as a bit more pumped up. Maybe that's the best way to put it. But still, a fun night of wrestling for both companies. We'll start with AEW Dynamite, and we'll run down the results here. Swerve Strickland started the show. He challenged Bobby Lashley to a match, and that's that. And I liked this. I thought this was a good way to get there. You don't always need like a big, long, drawn out promo. Sometimes the more intense kind of verbiage can be displayed with just a couple words. And Swerve just said, Lashley, full gear, like, let's go. And that was that. It was short and sweet, but it worked. And again, I think Swerve came across as a nice star here. The first match was Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy against Pac and Claudio Castagnoli. Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy won this match by DQ. Jon Moxley, got involved, and the brawl. The brawl was there. So after the fact. So, I would have given him the win there. I mean, I would have given Orange Cassidy and Darby the win. Look, it's Pac and Claudio. Like, they've been presented as like just henchmen guys for Jon Moxley. Like, nothing for anybody to worry about, right? I mean, like, yes, a little bit vicious when they're in like a 3-on-1, 4-on-1 situation, but other than that, they're the henchmen guys. They're the guys that are supposed to get beat on the way to Jon Moxley. And I think in a scenario where you're really trying to build up Orange Cassidy as a challenger to Moxley for full gear, but even Darby Allin as a challenger to Jon Moxley down the road, whenever that is, winning these type of matches. These type of matches are good to kind of pad the perception of a winner on the babyface side, and they didn't go that route here. I really think that they needed to go that route. The DQ was kind of like, all right, well, why book this thing, So I didn't like that. The match was fine, but it wasn't. I don't think it was well booked at all. All right, Learning Tree: Chris Jericho, Big Bill, Brian Keith. Against Mark Briscoe, Tomohiro Ishii, and Kyle O'Reilly. This was in a fight without honor. Briscoe, Ishii, and O'Reilly won this match against Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith. I don't know what the point is of the Learning Tree at this point. I mean, like, look, that team of baby faces, they're not going anywhere. I mean, I don't mean that. What I mean is they're not a focus, but on the Jericho side of things, I mean, that could be a heel faction if you wanted it to be a top heel faction. And here you go. You're doing a job for Kyle O'Reilly, Ishii, and Mark Briscoe. I would have gone a different direction in terms of how to book this thing. I didn't hate the match. I just thought go a different way, and put over the Jericho faction as somebody that wins, and not just somebody that not just a group that kind of acts funny and tries to be threatening towards your your baby faces, but then doesn't really do anything. Like this to me was a good opportunity to get them over and put them over strong, and they didn't do it. Adam Cole then wrestled Malachi Black, and Adam Cole won. So he's one match away now from facing MJF at Full Gear. This was a good match. I liked the chemistry that both Black and Adam Cole had. The storyline is just kind of like, okay, so he's going to win 3 matches. Like, whoop-de-doo. I don't know. It just seemed like a really flat storyline to get there. Just book the match and build it. Like, this seems to me like it's a crutch for, we don't know what to do, but we've got 6 weeks of television. So let's go. Let's do this, and put him in this gauntlet of matches. It's like, he's going to win them, and so it really kind of hurts the drama of the whole thing. It'd be better off him not even on TV and just cutting promos for the match than this. This just is very anticlimactic, and I don't think it. The storyline worked pretty well, but the match was good. Match was good. Okay, let's see here now. Let's keep moving. Christian Cage cut a promo in the ring and on Hook. Christian Cage just cracks me up, guys. He is one of the best heels in that company right now, from the perspective of he just wants to make the baby faces like look good, and that's important. Like, that's the goal. MJF kind of has this cool feel to his shtick, and Jon Moxley as a heel, like he's barely a heel. Like, he's a heel in like name only at this point because he's so darn cool. But Christian just that's what he wants to be, and he works to that end, and he helps babyfaces get over. I think Hook is in a better position now than he was before. Jamie Hayter versus Penelope Ford. Hayter wins this match. No surprise there. Definitely Hayter's best outing. Since returning to the company. So I thought that was good for her. Hopefully now she can move on to something bigger and better. Mercedes Moné waits in the wings. That's a huge match. Her against Mariah May. That's a huge match. So you've got, if you're Tony Khan, 2 really solid matches that are waiting for you there for Jamie Hayter. And I think she's one of the best baby faces that you have in the women's division right now. So if this was like designed to like get her comfortable in the ring again after such a long time away, okay, mission accomplished. Now you got to start making some money with her and put her in matches that matter. And so hopefully we see that. And then in the main event, we had Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher against Ricochet and a mystery partner. That mystery partner was Powerhouse Hobbs, returning Powerhouse Hobbs. And that was a fun surprise. I was hoping that it wouldn't be Will Ospreay, just because like that's, if you do that match, Ricochet and Ospreay against Takeshita and Fletcher, that's a pretty big match, number one. But also, like, you want to pay to see, or you want fans to pay to see the payoff to Fletcher and Ospreay. That's where the money is at. And so you want to wait, and you don't want them to like start fighting each other on Dynamite, right? That's the big match. So you don't want them to touch until then. This, I thought, worked. Powerhouse Hobbs has that connection to the Don Callis family. And there you go. So good match, fun match. Ricochet, I thought, looked really good. He got the win over Takeshita. So I think that is a sign that they may be going for a Ricochet Takeshita match at Full Gear for the International Championship. I almost said Intercontinental. we had a big brawl at the end. Mark Davis got involved, and then Will Ospreay did get involved, and he makes the save. The show ends with the baby faces in the ring, running off those heels. And so, yeah, so not a bad main event at all. I thought this was good, and it helped set up quite a bit of stuff. So good show with some newsworthy elements coming out of it. Next week, it will be Takeshita against Adam Cole. So big match there. Takeshita doing another job. Like, that's what it sounds like. Ouch. If you're him, but we'll see. There's certainly some booking tricks that they can do to get around that. But boy, yeah, that was, I don't know. I don't know about that call, but as good of a match as it'll be. Powerhouse Hobbs. What do you guys think of Powerhouse Hobbs? I really like him as a talent in AEW. I think he's got a huge upside. He's got a presence. He's got size. He can work well in the ring, but not in the same way that a Will Ospreay or Ricochet works well in the ring. So I hope that they get behind him. I hope that they really start to push him. Amy in the chat here agrees and says, love him. Yeah, I do too. I think he has a really good tone and tenor to his character and what he does. And I hope he gets an opportunity. When All Out was in Chicago, we were sitting in my seats, and just we were right up against the floor, and Hobbs walked out and stood right, I guess where the kind of the aisle would be if it kept going off the grandstand and down into the arena. And he just stood there and he watched almost the whole show from that spot. And people were going up to him and taking pictures and shaking his hand. And he seemed like a really nice guy. But what I thought was fascinating is, man, he was studying these matches and studying the crowd reactions to certain things. And I really got a different perspective of him as a star, as somebody who's really trying to learn the game and, soak in stuff, even if he's not wrestling. And so that was a cool thing to see and cool thing to watch somebody like that soak in a wrestling show the way that he did. And so, just cool little nugget. All right. That's Dynamite. So let's go over now to the other show that we had going on at the exact same time, NXT live from the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, now called the 2300 Arena. The show opened with Jada Parker and Lola Vice in a hardcore match with Dawn Marie as the special guest referee. I don't know. I just thought Dawn Marie was a cool get for WWE and for NXT in this. You don't see her pop up too much, but boy, she had an impact in ECW in her own way, during the heyday of ECW. I mean, she certainly did. And so it was good to kind of see her get some flowers here. Jada Parker beat Lola Vice. I thought this was a good match. I thought both women worked hard, worked well. I thought the hardcore match lived up to the now standards of NXT and WWE hardcore matches. It certainly wasn't something out of ECW in 1997, but we don't want that anymore either. So this worked to that end. I continue to find it interesting that Lola Vice is no longer the star pupil in NXT. She got pushed heavily there, and I never thought that it clicked. I never thought that she had as much as WWE brass thought she did in terms of what she brought to the table. I thought that she was trying to be this gimmick of this MMA fighter who's also just this beautiful woman, and I thought that those two character traits counteracted one another, and so I don't think people really knew how to take to her or how to feel about her, and she still hasn't really figured that out. I think she's still trying to force that down and make that a thing. And I think you got to pick one. You either got to be, the fighter, or like be like, arrogant, beautiful woman of NXT. There's something there. I think she's got charisma, and I think she's talented in the ring, but she's just missing it on the character front right now. I don't think anybody knows who Lola Vice is. Jada Parker, on the other hand, huge upside there. I would not be surprised to see her on the main roster, sooner than later. All right, let's see. We've got Wesley against Javon Evans next. Javon Evans wins this match in 12 minutes. Good match. Evans, good win. Wesley is like a kind of an NXT guy at this point, right? Like he's been there forever. And so to beat Wesley, like to me, it seems like that's a pat on the back for Javon Evans. Like that's a move that you get if you're in the plans moving forward. We didn't get a lot from Rob Van Dam, who was out for this match. He was in his gear, but he didn't really do much. So nothing really from RVD at that point. All right, let's see. Rhino appeared and gored Robert Stone. How do you not have Rhino in the ECW arena if you're doing an ECW arena show, right? How do you not have that? All right, then it was Trick Williams and Bubba Ray Dudley against Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. Page and Holland win this match, pinning Trick Williams. So a bit of a surprise. Like when this match wasn't the main event, my thought was, okay, like we may get a heel turn from Bubba Ray. I just figured if it was in the main event, you'd use it to send the crowd home happy, right? And it's in the ECW arena. It's Bubba Ray. You do the tables thing, and okay, then you go home and the show goes off the air. So when it's in the middle of the card here, I had my antenna was I was like, okay, something's going on. They use this to put over Ridge Holland. I think you now have a challenger for Trick Williams. Holland beat Trick Williams, and that's. Trick Williams is the NXT champion. So you've got a challenger there. And really, if you think about it, Holland is a heel that they've been building up for a long time. So it makes sense for this to happen. Whether you like him or not, different story. They have put in the effort to build him up. After the match, then you get that kind of tables moment with Bubba and Williams. So they tried to like kind of save the heat there and do something that kind of helped them in the end. But fine moment, fine match. But I don't know. I think the bigger story is that pin on Trick Williams. All right, then Tony D'Angelo faced Nunzio. Holy cow! For the North American Championship, Tony Mamaluke ringside. D'Angelo wins this match. And they do a little babyface hug. So this was just to get Nunzio on the card, an ECW guy. Total just for the audience and for the gimmick of running in the ECW arena match. And then let's see. Then we had our main event, which was the 10-woman tag team match. We had Jordan Grace, Kalani Jordan, Zarya, Stephanie Vaquer, and Julia against Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Fallon Henley, JC Jane, and Jasmine Nick. So this was a 10-woman tag. This was wild. This was 15 minutes, so they got a long time. But the baby faces won. Grace, Jordan, Zarya, Vaquer, and Julia win this match. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was an exciting match. I thought that the women did their thing. I thought this match in the ECW arena with that crowd played better than it would have just in regular, the Performance Center when they do regular shows for NXT. This played better. This took advantage of that. When you look at this match, there's a lot of talent in this match. I mean, and different kind of talent. Like this match shows that, hey, WWE is stocked with women's talent. I mean, look at this. Jordynne Grace, made talent, made star. Stephanie Vicker, new to the company, but a lot of buzz and really, really doing good work since she got there. Julia, same thing. Zarya, a talent that they made feel like a really big deal coming in. Totally different look, totally different presence. And you got Roxanne Perez, who's been holding down the fort, and supremely talented and great in the ring, good character, knows how to get heat. Cora Jade, same thing. Then you kind of have like your second tier of Kalani Jordan, Fallon Henley, JC Jane. I don't think those women are where the others are at this point, but they're on that trajectory and they don't have the experience that those others do, but there is positives to what they bring to the table. So this is stocked. This is stocked up. And I thought it was a really good way to kind of showcase that, but also a good way to end the show. So that was NXT. So again, just more of an exciting vibe and environment, in NXT at this point for the NXT show, given just the circumstances of where the show was. So that's the battle. So I ask you this, who is going to win in the ratings war? Because, we got to talk about ratings. We got to do it. Let's go to the live chat here and run through some comments. Andrew H says, and we will not tolerate anybody talking negative about Nana. Did I? I didn't talk negative about Nana. I didn't. I swear. I promise. Where's the coffee? Oh, man, that coffee was finished hours ago. I was up early this morning. Oh boy, yeah, that coffee was finished hours ago. Normally, I do have my trusty little Starbucks coffee, and you guys got to help me. You got to help me with get the Starbucks sponsorship. Social media, so that everybody knows like that we're pushing Starbucks on this thing. We need a Starbucks sponsor. Thank you, Andrew H. Hassan says that was cool last night. Yeah, I like when these shows go head to head. I think it's fun. I think it makes for like a fun, wrestling night, where you can go back and forth and see what's happening, see what's what. You got the whole like wrestling world, like eyes are on the TV, which again, last night, I know I needed, and again, the election kind of rocked me personally. I don't know about you guys, but it rocked me. And, I just, needed a mental health day, but it was good to get back and watch those shows last night and go, okay, like, this is cool. This is fun. So yeah, thanks, Hassan. Chris, the Wrestling Informer, is joining us saying, where's RVD? Well, RVD is not on this show, but he is. I'm very grateful that he allows us to use his channel here for our 1TS Daily Show. RVD is a part of the One True Sport family of talent and family of shows. So he lets us use this. So that's why he's not here. Maybe one day we will get Rob Van Dam on 1TS Daily. Wouldn't that be amazing? That'd be fun. Man, I'm going to put that on the list. That's on the list. You just made the list. That's on the list of things to do soon. All right. Let's talk some news. So Malachi Black rumors came out last night about maybe him retiring or leaving AEW. And he posted a video this morning on social media saying that's not the case. So I think we will see, we will continue to see Malachi Black in professional wrestling, AEW most likely, but even if it's not AEW, certainly in WWE, I think, given the fact that his wife Zelina Vega works there and he's got history there. Some other nuggets. Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes are on hiatuses from WWE. This is from the Wrestling Observer. Personal reasons is what the official word is, and there's no real timetable on their return to the company. So we don't know kind of what the situation is. On that front. AEW announced that tickets for All In Texas will be going on sale in December. That show will be 2025, of course, in the summer of 2025. It'll be the first all-in stadium show that AEW runs in the United States. And let me see here. I want to make sure I get this right. Monday, December 9th is when the tickets will go on sale. So, if you want to make that a summer trip, Texas, it's in Arlington, Texas. So it's where the Texas Rangers play, baseball. December 9th, mark it down in your calendars. Cool. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. You can check out more of my work over at Bradstring Media for sure. That's my shop that I run, and we've got a great team of contributors and voices there. We're live on our YouTube channel all throughout the week. You can get those shows on YouTube. You can also get those shows as audio podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. So you can get them both ways, totally free. We have a newsletter that we put out every day. It's on Substack. It's got all sorts of great material in it, show reviews and editorials and features and interviews and things of that nature. So check that out. Bradstring Media on Substack. Subscribe there. And of course, also you can check out my work at Sports Illustrated. I do write for them and love that and love doing that and love that team and what we do there. So check that out. Check out my work there. Cool. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow right here, 11 a.m. Eastern, talking pro wrestling. So make it part of your day. Subscribe, like this before the video goes off the air. It helps us out a lot. I thank you guys so much. And hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And we'll see you tomorrow right here at 1CS Daily at One True Sport. I'm Zack Heydorn. Have a great day. See ya.